it feel, baby? Yeah! Go Braves! Hold on, I got another song. We're going to play homage before I get into this real quick. Celebrate good times, come on. Hold on, let me kill that song real quick before I get into the next one. Because I'm going to just play you something that just made me wet myself tonight. This song gives me tingles in the feels. Congratulations, Atlanta Braves! One more course, and then I'll get into the show. Welcome into a post-game show I'm a little late on because I had to go on Facebook. I have over 100 to 200 Dodger friend fans that give it to me every year. See, in the 2000s, like in the 2010s, we root for the Angels when they're post. Yeah, sure you do. Whatever. You don't root for us. You hate us. And that's great. We hate you too. But when it's our turn to make fun of you, you better take it. In last year's 60-game season, where they played absolutely no one from the Central, no one from the East, didn't have to travel, stayed on the West Coast, had a designated hitter for the first time ever, and had with a $200 almost $300 million payroll last year, and only played 60 games. And then, you played basically, you were at home in San Antonio. You knew that field. Tampa Bay came in there not knowing how to play there. They never played in Texas Stadium. You had all the advantages. You had players from several playoff teams you played that stayed home because they were scared of COVID. And you won a ring pop series. You didn't have a parade. So Washington Nationals were, and I've been saying it all year, have been your current champs. And they're still your current champs until Houston or Atlanta wins the World Series. And kudos to Atlanta for fighting through all the MLB bullcrap. We love to just watch sports and not be political, correct? But they made it political. They first tried to make them change their name. And then they're all like Cleveland. Cleveland, I have no respect for the Indians or Guardians or whatever they call themselves. PC. All of a sudden, it's a bad thing? I can see the Washington Redskins. Okay, that's talking about skin. But no one's making nothing derogatory about the Indians. The Indians caved. Atlanta caved, lost hundreds of millions of dollars that they could have from tourism, from the All-Star game and festivities. So and they didn't want to see Atlanta here, and Atlanta's here. And then you look at the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros are a hated team. Granted, most of you Angel fans hate them. And I do. But I'd rather see them in the World Series than Boston. F Boston. They've won enough. They've cheated enough. They've screwed us over in the past. If you want to hate Houston, fine. They're the bad guys at baseball. But it's another FU to Major League Baseball. Because now you got the Houston Astros, who they didn't want in there. But if they wanted them in there, it would be to play the Dodgers. And believe me, if you were watching those umpire calls throughout this series, they really wanted the Dodgers to be there. An advertisement that was sent to me by Randy. Randy sent me a TBS tweet that said, come watch the Dodgers play in Game 5 as they try to regroup or whatever in the series. That said, come watch the Dodgers on a TBS network. That's not FS1, the home of the Dodgers. That's a national broadcasting channel that's supposed to be down the middle. And then the Atlanta Braves tweeted just underneath it, hey, we're in that game too. So you got zero respect. But I have all the respect for Houston. And all the respect for Atlanta for getting there. Because now you can't blame the Braves for cheating. They're in the World Series again. And if Dusty Baker wins it, I'm happy for him. Yes, they're in a division, whatever. I don't care anymore. My main thing was not to get the Dodgers there. And the fact they're not there, the fact their fans are pissing themselves, because guess what? You can tell every single Dodger fan that you know. And I want you to tell them this. Or text it to them. Or email it to them. Or whatever you have to do. Write a letter. Put hashtag. Can't do it in 162. Because they can't. And look what I said on Facebook. Kershaw, if you ask the average Dodger fan, hey, where's Kershaw? They don't care. They don't want him here in the postseason. If they didn't show him on the bench with his stupid mouth open going, you wouldn't know he was there or even existed. They don't want him there. And that just goes to show you they had more than enough pitching to win this series. They had more than enough hitting. I don't want to hear Betts is as good as Trout anymore. I don't want to hear this Mr. Bellinger's on a resurgence. I don't want to hear Chris Taylor's the next, coming of, Reggie Jackson or whatever. I don't want to hear all that bull crap because that's what Dodger fans do. If it's hot, they'll talk about it like it's been there forever. They don't acknowledge it's past. So I'm happy. I hope you are tonight too. And we're going to get into some comments because F the Dodgers, because that's why. If anyone says anything, because of F the Dodgers, because that's why. And hashtag can't do it in 162. Hashtag COVID chumps. That's what I want you to tell your Dodger friends and fans. Because that's what it is. The celebration from Nats fan right there. Underdogs for Life says, dethrone the Doyers. Absolutely. Jay Bruce says, Tio Albert striking out arguably is the biggest at bat. The Dodgers was poetic. Exactly. And you know what? I would have paid for him to go to those Dodger assholes 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Man, it went 5 years too late. Celebration party, let's go. Nats fan says, Rob says, let it be clear that they can't win a real World Series whole season or put an asterisk next to it. Thank you. Underdog for Life says, go Braves. Eric says, yes. Right there, fast times. Yeah, baby. F Brooklyn. Chase says, you better be able to make it for a World Series watch party. I'll be there. My dad, Papa Fox, was all up in it, man. Nancy says, laugh out loud, Todd. Just hope Atlanta kicks Astros' ass. Hey, I really don't care who wins right now. I'm just saying, Nancy, but if you're going for the Braves, go for the Braves. They're a good freaking team. Everyone except Jackson on that team is good. My dad was like, God damn it, stop putting Jackson in there. He sucks. And he was right. He was right. I mean, they saved it tonight. Matzik pitched awesome. Rob says, come over on the right side now, Max. We need him. Yes, we do. Tomahawk those Doyers. Underdog says for life. Jay Bruce says, go get Max or Glass now, and I would get Glass now right now because he's going to be coming off that injury bug, so that I feel good for that. Take it, Dodger fans. Underdog says, James says now Randy Newman singing tonight. I should put Randy Newman in there. Rob says, Dodger fans going to say, but we didn't have Muncy, even though Braves lost their whole entire outfield. Good point, Rob, because the Dodgers won't bring that up. They won't bring up that the Braves literally went through three outfielder changes. Three actual new outfielders, right, left fielder, and center fielder. 3 times they had to change because of injury. You didn't see them complain, did you? Ring pop Doyers, exactly. Let's fucking go. Solar says, but they had injuries, DJ says. It's always Boston and more. They missed the 60-game season, DJ says. Solar says, just saying, is it okay if I have, like, the Braves for 5 years and the Angels for my whole life? There you go, Solar. Whatever works for you, man. Jack says, sup, bro? What is up, Jax? See, Nats fan says, I'm happy for Dusty, but the Astros. Yep, they're right there. This is the first World Series that I won't be watching that much, Ortiz says. You know what? And it's not really a favorable World Series to watch, but at least the Dodgers aren't there. That is my Super Bowl. That is my coup de grace. That is when, look, if the Angels were to hopefully someday get past the Dodgers again, which they will in the postseason, but for right now, if the Angels are eliminated early, my World Series is getting them the hell out the postseason. Once they're done, I'm throwing a parade. I'm throwing a one-man parade. I'll go with a shirt off down the street, shooting off streamers, shooting off fireworks, shooting off a 44 like the Dodger fans all have. Even their kids have 44s because last year when they won the ring pop thing, they were shooting guns off you would have thought it was Iraq. It was Chirac. But, yes, I would have a one-man parade every year. I should do that for the Dodger fans because my block was it was like eerily quiet tonight. We were the only ones rooting for it. Me and Papa Fox were out there yelling and screaming and making our voices known with a door wide open, TV up to like 100%, because we wanted them to hear the fact that their bandwagon team is done. Brooklyn is done. My friend Aiden is salty as fuck because I said good game. Don Hammond says, I'm surprised that the Doyers lost Todd. Wow, an all-star. I thought for sure they would have been in the World Series. I did too, Don. When they passed the Giants, I really thought the Braves were going to roll over and die. But you know what? Kudos to the freaking Braves for manning up. Kudos big time. Kershaw has not done much since 2019 loss to the Nats. Yes, Nats fan. F the Doyers underdog says. Ortiz says they said the same thing about Puig. Yeah, there you go. If the Dodgers won, then I'm a trash can. They did compare Puig to Trout. That is blasphemy in so many levels. Dodgers fans going to burn those Tio Albert t-shirts. Time for Albert to retire. Dude, we've been saying that as fans for a long time. It's only 4 games, but the Dodgers whipped their own ass. Hell yeah. $240 million for nothing. Absolutely. Where the Dodgers fans right now, they've all crawled back into their crevices that they crawled out to when the Dodgers actually get good or get into August when they're, either that or they're beating their wives or whatever. You can go down all kinds of rabbit holes in this one, or, they're just drinking their sorrows away, or they're going to flip to Raider games or Rams games or Niner fans. They're just going to switch allegiances because that's what they're good at. Don Hammond says, sorry guys, ain't no way in hell I could stomach the Astros winning. I hate them with a passion, just like those weak-ass Oakland A's. Hope the Braves win it all and play for the players on the Braves. And I'm with you. I'm just saying, if the Astros would have won, I'd take the Astros 10 times over the freaking Dodgers. But you know what? I don't want to see the Chitros win. I think the only guy I would be happy for is Dusty Baker. Other than that, the rest of the guys can kiss my ass. My fofo, make sure all your World Series dreams don't grow, especially Freddie Freeman. He's a beast. That guy does deserve one. Kershaw to the Rangers. I wish that would happen, and Drizzle. Solar says, I'm so happy it didn't end like 2020. 2020 was a terrible, terrible, terrible season. For I think every sport, once they close the doors on everything, they shouldn't have re-upped it. They really shouldn't have re-upped college football. They shouldn't have restarted basketball. They shouldn't have started baseball. You should have just said, F it, let's work towards next season. Let's start to get the fans back because it was bullshit last year. Let's just be plain and simple about it. It was. Angels fan 27 says, where's Mathematic? Yeah, where the hell is he? Damn, Albert couldn't get over the hump, and you think he'll return next year, Todd? Yes, he will, Don, especially if the collective bargaining agreement goes through to where there will be a possibility of a universal DH. I would bet the house that he joins Yadier Molina in St. Louis, and they both have a swan song together. It's never been done that 2 future Hall of Famers will be going out and the same team, same season, same swan song. It's going to happen. Watch. If that universal DH takes place, he's there. It's just going to happen. Watch. He's not going to be in L.A., I guarantee you. Jaime says, I hope the Dodgers lose Seager, Scherzer, Taylor, and Kershaw. Time to put an end to this team. Pun intended. And it could happen because of the collective bargaining agreement. Because if they put a ceiling to the salary cap and a floor to the salary cap, the Dodgers will also be penalized millions upon millions of dollars plus draft picks. So that's what we're all hoping for. The romance between Pujols and the Dodgers is over. Absolutely, Juan, and good for you to check in. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't been on here in a while. I've been nervous. I've been biting my nails. Look, on Facebook, I'm more like I go in on these Dodger fans because they go in on me. I'm the one that gets the memes about monster trucks returning in November to Anaheim Stadium, swap meets returning in October, play golf in October. Pictures of Mike Trout with a golf club in spring training. Those pictures were taken before, but they use them as the end of the season type memes against the Angels. It's always that type of thing. You always get the worst of the worst shoving it down your throat. But they can't take it when you turn around and you point the finger right back at them. Now, can they? They can always say, oh, we won all these games, and, at least we're in the postseason. But where'd that get you? Okay, you're in the postseason. We'd all love to be in the postseason. But you're so good, aren't you? You got the best team, don't you? You're supposed to win, aren't you? But you don't, do you? And when you don't, you take the criticism. See, when the Angels were good and winning all those divisions, and when we lost in the first and second round, we got all kinds of crap from Dodger fans. We had to sit there and take it, even though their asses weren't in the postseason. But ours were. So it's role reversal for right now. Because you look at it now, it's been 7 years since we've been in the postseason. The last time we were in the postseason, the Dodgers were in the postseason in 2014, just barely going on the run. And it could have been an opportunity for us to meet in the World Series. If you remember 2014, best record in the American League was the Angels. Best record in the National League was the Dodgers. But we all know how that played out for both teams. But there could be a time again where we get that good where to me, it doesn't look too far away. But for right now, if we can get back to the postseason, okay. But if we lose, I expect to get crapped on just as much as I'm crapping on you because that's what's called a rivalry. And I have a lot of snowflake friends who can't take me pointing the finger back at them. And I've lost a few. If you're that much of a snowflake, good riddance. Just like the dude from Tombstone, well, Bye. Because that's what it comes down to. A real fan can talk trash, and then a real fan can sit there and take it when it's his turn, when his team doesn't make it. And I think the Angels fans are a sleeping giant because 7 years of being kicked in the balls by guys like Dio Albert and bad contracts, drunk-ass Artie Moreno, and other players who get injured all the time. If this team turns it around, this fan base is going to get loud and proud. And it's going to get in your face. And I hope if the Dodgers are not contending, that they can take it. And let's just hope they can keep their composure and be a real fan instead of, let me throw a punch or let me jump this guy because I can't take a freaking joke. That's why no one likes going to your goddamn stadiums. You fight each other if you can't fight an opposing fan with another jersey on. That's hood, dude. Like, grow a pair and be a real fan base. I know our fan base is soft. I got you. It is at times. We sell our tickets to other teams. We'll cower down at times. But I remember the Angels teams when we were winning, and they would stand up for themselves. So I'm hoping we get back to that point, and I'm hoping you Dodger fans can keep your panties out of a bunch and just take it, because it will be your turn. Because right now we're laughing at you for getting knocked out of the postseason, but we're going to be laughing at you someday soon when you don't even reach the postseason, and we're in the postseason again. And boy, the tables will turn. Boy, the tables will turn. And then that's when the real fun starts. And I hope you Angel fans can reach deep down inside and pull out all the shit and rub it in their face. Because they deserve it. Let's just be honest. They freaking deserve it. They deserve this loss more than anybody, any other fan base I know. I love it. I can't tell you enough how much I love it. Just saying. I know I've ranted a lot here. Let me just get back to a few of these comments here. Hold on. Let's, back to this stuff. We're going to get back on this right here. Don says, man, I missed your live videos, Todd. I can't wait for a 2022 season. That's going to be right around the corner, guys and girls. We're going to be doing spring training stuff. We got a lot of stuff planned. So keep with it. Keep sharing. Keep talking to other fans. This thing's going to blow up, and it's going to continue to ride a big wave. Solar says Braves in 6. It could be, man. Who's that new pitcher guy that the Angels got? I heard it's a whiz kid. Or he's a whiz kid. I'm not sure who you're talking about on that one. Dodgers weren't hungry. Fast Time says, let's go Braves. Who you got, Todd? Solar, I'm going for the Braves. But if the Astros win, like I said, Dusty Baker, that'd be the only consolation I'd take out of it. But this is going to be a hell of a series. These two bullpens are really strong, and they both got hitting that can just come alive. Alvarez is sick. Solero is sick. I mean, these teams are really, really good. I'm glad to see these two teams match up with each other. Albert took that bad juju and took it to the Dodgers. He sure did. Let's see. James says, I think the Astros win it in 5, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. There you go. Wear your ring at, Albert. Joke's on you, Dodger fans. Nats fan says, James, I hope you're wrong too. Let's see. Solar says, don't worry about the new GM. We will get pitchers, and our new GM has gotten rid of Nacho Helmet guy. That it will be 150. There you go. They're cleaning house right now with the coaches. That's a great thing. I'm hoping the training staff is next for the Angels. Just saying, you guys are on, or just seeing you guys are on TikTok. Yes, we are, Solar. Pass that word around too. Next step, trade Upton and re-sign Iglesias and trade a good pitcher to get Adele and Marsh a contract. Well, Adele and Marsh are going to be under contract anyway on rookie contracts for a couple more years. You don't want to pay them early. You want to continue to see them go. But yes, you're absolutely right. Upton's got to go to free up some cash. And Iglesias is the rock, dude. Right now, unfortunately, since he saved half of the Angels' wins, he's going to be a high priority for a lot of teams. A lot of teams would love to add him. But you look at the back end of that bullpen. At the end of the year, Austin Warren was pitching good. Steve Cishek was actually nails, and you had Myers pitching into his own. So maybe you keep that together if you can re-sign those two, and you got Warren right there, and then maybe I think priority number 1 is getting Iglesias, and then a starter will come along. I know there's going to be starters on the free agency for a while, but I think priority number 1 has got to get Iglesias back. That guy was nails. He's a Troy Percival-esque, Frankie Rodriguez-esque with his own little sidearm action. You can't lose that guy. You just can't. No matter what, I'm always an Angels fan. There you go. Jaime says the Braves signed Albies and Acuna to huge contracts early to ensure that they were cheaper. Would you do the same for Marsh and Adele? They'll probably take the contract too. I would, Jaime, if they're for sure going to tear it up this year. If they have a really good season and just balls to the wall, play really good this season, I would offer them a contract either towards the end of the season or right in the off season. I'd be like, dude, sign them up, because they still got, I think, 4 more years of control each. So yeah, if you lock them up and show them the money like Tom Cruise, then there you go. That's a good point. Jaime says this guy I'm talking about is from frontline pitching. He's in his mid-30s and is going to help out with the pitching staff coaching. Oh, the guy. Yeah, you know what? He could turn the tide. I mean, look, we needed coaching. We didn't have any coaching this year. The coaching was terrible. So if that will make a freaking a difference with everybody. Todd, what's your thoughts on the Angels' personnel change, like our scouting director, catching coach, and third base coach, but let go? Positive or negative? I think it's positive because obviously there were problems. Obviously, Perry did not like what he saw. Now, if Helmet Nacho goes and they get rid of also Jeremy Reed, which is you got to get rid of those 2 punks. They're punk ass losers, man. They don't add nothing to this team. You look at all these teams that are in the freaking in the postseason right now. They have established coaches, from first base coaches to third base coaches. You look at the Giants coaching staff, which is huge. That plays a part. Some people are like, coaching doesn't matter in baseball. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And so does hitting instructors. So does having live batting practice, which the Angels didn't do. That's got to change too. Rob says, so throwing the Dodgers suck parade on Monday or not this year? Rob, since they didn't have one last year, we should throw them a ring pop celebration along with a Doyers choke one. What about Andrew Wantz? Yes, Andrew Wantz Solar. Thank you. I forgot about that guy. That guy's a good pitcher too. Let's see. Fernando says, see you at motocross, Dodger fans. That is true. Motocross is coming to Dodger Stadium. Let's see. James says Perry bringing his own guys might breathe a breath of fresh air. And remember this: Perry Manassian was part of the rebuild in Toronto. You remember how fast that Toronto team came about? When they had what was his name that did the bat flip? It's killing me with names tonight. But you know what I'm talking about. When the Blue Jays went to the postseason, I think it was in 2014, 2015, back-to-back, and they were I think the division champions, and they just had a good pitching staff, but they fell short to the Royals, and I think they fell short to somebody else. Might have been the Royals twice, but I know they were right there in the ALCS. They came through. Oh, Jose Bautista. Thank you, Rob. He was part of putting that team together. So he helped build a winner there, and the Braves were soft. And he went down there with Dayton Moore, I think, or I'm blanking on who the Braves GM is. But he was the assistant to that dude, and lo and behold, Atlanta gets good. Lo and behold, their bullpen is good. Their pitching staff is good. Perry was behind that. And look what he's done here in Anaheim right away. Address the pitching. I am just as eager as all you Angel fans to see what he's going to do in the offseason. It could be a big year. I'm just saying. It could be. And if it is, more kudos to him. But my biggest fear is that drunken Artie will put his hand in the cookie jar. If he could stay out of the cookie jar and just leave it to Perry, let him succeed, let him fail on his own. I don't want Artie contributing to the success or failure of Epler or anybody else. Those years are gone. Let's forget about that crap. So that's what I'm excited about this season. Fast Times is reminding me about a live they did earlier. Almost shut up. Martin says Dodgers stated the extra 100 games for the year, or started the extra 100 games of the year, and were a little too much for the boys to go back and back. Yes, it's true. And again, if Kershaw, I'm pretty sure if Kershaw had to pitch more than 60 games last year, or pitch in those 60 games, he would have been hurt too. The guy's a snowflake. Solar says, if we go 20-0 in the spring, we were winning the World Series. Choketober is one of my favorite holidays. What a great day. Good night, y'all. I'm sleeping well tonight. Jaime, you have a great rest of your night. That is a good Angel fan right there, too. Jaime is one of my favorites out there. Hopefully you and your family sleep really good tonight, because I know I will, too. Rob's reminding me of Jose Bautista. A lot of you guys are lead 45 as well. James, also Adam Eaton bringing or being let go after playing 12 games, yes or bad, or good or bad. Solar says, I think it's good because he had nothing there. He really didn't towards the end of the season. He was a stopgap guy. So he was a stopgap till we brought up Marsh. And look what happened with Marsh. He got much more production. Chase says, yeah, that live earlier was pretty cool. It seemed like they were missing someone, though. You know what, Chase? I apologize. I should have been on that live. I was watching you guys. It's just my dad was like, I don't want to watch it in your studio because I would have had it on my monitors. I don't have a big screen in my studio. So my dad was like, 80-inch TV or 20-inch computer screen. And he picked the 80-inch. And he's like, Todd, you got to watch this game. I got a feeling. Because I'm telling you, okay, this was my dad. When Bellinger hit that home run in the at-bat to save the Dodgers in Game 3. So we're watching the game. We're sitting there, and the first pitch is like high to Bellinger. And it's like ball one, I think, right? And then the next one was strike, right? And he got him into 1 and 2 or whatever. But even when he threw that pitch that Bellinger fouled off prior, he's like, don't throw that again. He's adjusted to it. He's catching up to it. Throw it in dirt. And my dad usually doesn't get off the couch or the seat, but he was feeling that if the Braves would have won Game 3, the series was over. He was nervous since Game 3 because he felt that the Dodgers were going to come back and win the series. But in that at bat to Bellinger, it was 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he said, "Throw it in the dirt, throw it in the dirt." And he stood up and he was yelling at the TV, and I'm like, Dad, I think he's got Bellinger right here. Nope, my dad called it. Soon as he hit it, he's all, no. God damn it, Jesus Christ, Satan's team's doing it again. And he was going off. And I wish I had recorded it. And I'm over here trying to be pissed. Because I hate the Dodgers as much as he does. But when his reaction, I could not stop laughing. And my dad's like, why are you so happy? I'm like, I'm just laughing at you. Hold on, I'm pissed. Give me a second. Let me regroup. So, yeah, that was Game 3. And then tonight when we were watching it, when they hit that ground ball, I mean, I don't think me and him have jumped around. I mean, we did when the Astros won the World Series in Game 7 against the Dodgers, and when the Red Sox did it, we jumped around like that too. So that's the last time that we jumped around and hugged, because when he hit that ground ball and he threw him out at first, me and my dad were jumping up and celebrating in studio, hugging each other like we're on the field or we're in the stands. Because I'm telling you, my hatred for the Dodgers, I have my reasons to hate them and have extreme hatred. My dad has had years of it, and he can't stand them. This is my dad's first-generation Angel fan, so he's hated them since day one. He always tells me, boy, wouldn't it have been great if the Angels were here and Brooklyn stayed in Brooklyn? You would have had the Los Angeles Angels, and they would have ruled the entire Southern California. They would have had it to themselves. They could have won many World Series. And it's true. The big what if the greedy O'Malleys never came here and stole the land from those poor working Hispanics on Chavez Ravine, who knows what would have happened? By the way, I'm going to put that video out pretty soon. But yeah, let's see. Let's go back to a couple of these real quick. Martin says it was nice that Albert was on deck without a chance of being clutch like he was at Angels Stadium. Outfielders stacked next year, Marsha, Dell, and Trout. I hope Ohtani can stop being like he was in the home run derby. Yes, Solar. He needs to get back to Ohtani spraying the ball to left field, going to center field, taking walks. That is Ohtani, not Mr. I got to pull everything into the right field pavilion. Nats fan says, yes, always go with bigger inches. Solar says, your dad. Yes, Dodgers looks our spot in L.A. Took our spot. Yes, they did. They sure as hell did. And it's unfortunate because, again, if you know your Angels history, you had a good run where the Cowboy was putting together a good team. I mean, he was putting together a team starting from Nolan Ryan to 79 season, to the 82 season and 86 season. And I think a lot of people forget that back then and through the Angels' history, up until 1994 when they switched to the wild card format, you basically had 2 divisions and about I forget how many teams were in each division. But you had to fight off all those teams. So you just had an East Coast and you had a West Coast division of American League Baseball. So, and you didn't get in as a second place team. Back then, you had to either win it all or that's it. If you didn't win your division, you weren't going to make the playoffs. So think about it. It was just a Final Four every year. And I think that was with 28 teams at the time, or 26. So I think it was 26. So out of all those teams, you had a winner. That's it. So you had much more competition. And every freaking game, that's why when I look back at it and say, oh, the Angels only went, won their division 3 times back in the day. Those were hard-ass earned championships or division championships. That's what that was. I mean, that was no cupcake. I mean, they had a couple years, if you look in the Angels' history, where they won 90 games, they didn't make the playoffs. It just happened because you had better teams ahead of you. So they won their division, and they were able to get in. The other team won their other division. It was best out of 7. At one point, when the Angels lost in 79 and 82, it was best out of 5. In both series, they were up 2-0 and lost 3-2. In 86, they were up 3-1, lost in 7. So the Angels are right there. I mean, who knows? They could have had a couple more championships. Who knows if they're the only LA team? They could attract more fans, more players, more money, and then you build your empire like that. But the Cowboy was spending money out of his own pocket. He wasn't making he was taking, back then you didn't have TV contracts either. So he was taking losses with the Angels. So know your history a little bit. I mean, I think nowadays it's easier to get into the postseason. You see wild card teams go far. You could pay for a goddamn championship like the Dodgers. Spend $300 million and chance it that way. So there is something to baseball nowadays. It's way different since '94, and I think there's more to it. I think I give more credence to the teams that won it in the past because they had to fight through so much more. You had to really build a team 100%. You didn't have liabilities. If you had a liability, it would be exposed unless you went on an extreme hot run. But nowadays, it's more wide open. More teams can get in. And you know what? I'm going to sit here, and as much as I dish it out to Dodger fans, I wish I was where they are now. Able to win playoff series, get to playoff series, have a shot at the World Series, win division champions. And think about this too, Angel fans. The fact that up until this year, when the Padres actually built and spent for the first time in ever to get a team good enough to rival the Dodgers, that's been their first competition in a long time. And then nobody predicted the Giants to be doing what they were doing. The Giants were predicted to finish 3rd or 4th, and they won the freaking division and the most games in baseball. Who knew that? But for the first time, the Dodgers had to fight in 8 years. First time. What do the Angels have to do every year? They're always getting cock-blocked by Houston or Oakland every year. And now you're going to throw Seattle in the mix. Seattle showed that, hey, we're here. And they're going to add some players. And their young talent's going to get better. So now we're going to have to deal with 3 teams in our own division. Texas sucks. They're just a forgettable team, dude. They just are a forgettable team. Except those Ron Washington, Mike Napoli Ranger teams from a few years back. They're a forgettable team. Nobody cares. They're the Rangers. It's more of a disappointment when you lose to them. It's like, oh, we should have won that game. You don't care about them. They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to scare you. But now you got Seattle that's coming out of nowhere. And now you got Oakland, it's going to be Oakland. And Houston, they could be the returning or not returning World Series champions next year. So you'll have that in your division. So it's not going to get any easier. So that's why the Angels got to bulk up and do it right now. Do it right now because you don't want to fall behind these other teams. Let's see, get to a few more of these comments here. Got to make sure here. Let's see, Sassy Mari, I hope you're feeling better. She goes, way to go, Atlanta. I'm so happy. She's been cheering them on. She's been sending little messages. I'm happy for her. I'm happy you get to go to sleep happy tonight, Mari. Solar says, if Dodgers win the World Series, then I'm on a armadillo. Mari says, is that the last we saw of Albert? No, I think he's going to be back next year with St. Louis, I think. Let's see. Oh, wait, they can't. Solar says, yes, exactly. Pujols out of the payroll. Yes, he's gone. Solar says, Todd, remember when Vernon, my Venom pickup line? Oh, yeah, that was pretty good. Let's see. We got Fast Time saying, Dodgers need a pandemic, though. Otherwise, their spending is pointless. Houston, Oakland, and now Seattle. Juan says, yep, it's not going to get any easier. We got work to do. Let's do this. Let's get it. I don't want wild card. I want us to be an AL West championship, AL West champs next season. I'm right there with you, Don. I don't want the wild card because if it's not the same as when we did it in 2002, where you have these games best out of 5 and stuff like that. Now it's like win or go home and won, and you've used your ace to get there. So, man, I'm really hoping that the Angels can win a division, Don, because then you could sit home, you could wait for that team to play you. You have the advantage right away. They have to come right away after that wild card to your home and play you. You're just sitting there waiting. You know when you're playing. They don't know when they're playing. I love that much better. Juan says, thank God the Rangers are in the same division. Otherwise, the Angels will be last place. Yes. Courtney says, happy that Freddie Freeman is going to the World Series. I am too. Nice guy. Nice team. What's not to like on Atlanta? Really? I mean, think about it. You can use views about the city or whatever your political version is, whatever. But as far as keeping all that politics BS out of sports where it should not be, if you're just talking baseball, what's not to like about the Atlanta Braves? Really? I mean, we could pick apart the Houston Astros. We have many reasons not to want them there or like them or whatever. But the Atlanta Braves, man, hey, I got your back in this series because we all know what this did to the Dodgers. I hope that Dave Roberts is just dreaming that all night. I hope Kershaw. I hope Bueller. I hope Justin Turner. That redheaded douchebag. He just has a punchable face. Like I don't want to get a felony. Like if he's at an autograph signing, I'm just gonna want to punch him in the face, and then I'm gonna get a felony for battery. And then they're going to ask you why I did it, and I'm going to be like, because his face. You see his face? I want to punch him. Don't you want to punch him? I can't stand that douche. And I'm glad that Mr. COVID Turner from last year, who got no heat for him infecting half the team and their freaking families, and got to celebrate the ring pop with everybody else, the championship that didn't count. I'm glad he like, oh, I'm a hammy. Oh, I can't play. Come on, man. I mean, Rendon was playing with a torn vagina 4 times before he finally said, hey, you know what? I got to sit out. So if he could play with a torn vagina at the same position, Turner's hamstring ass should be out there as well. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. Right now, Rally Chris is giving it to the Dodger fans as well as he should. And he's good at doing that, by the way. He's giving it to him on his posts. Let's see. You got the Tomahawk Chops playing right there. Then the Rangers will clock back us when I'm 50. There you go. Don Hammond says 100% agree. Freddie is dope. Solar says two of my favorite use the axe chop, the Chiefs and the Braves. Punchable face, yes, Nats fan. And Solar, like I said, in the beginning of this show, I'm very, very frustrated the fact we don't have a Cleveland Indians team. It's funny when that movie came out, when they had the Charlie Sheen movie about Major League. No lie, unless they were playing the Angels, I'd kind of root for them because that movie was funny and they kind of depicted the Indians in the early 90s, late 80s. Pathetic team. That's why they made the movie off of them. And it was funny. And I was like, man, I like the Indians logo. The Chief Wahoo's pretty cool. And the fact that they just bent over, and they're now the Guardians. I mean, we'll never see the Indians logo anymore. I went and bought the Cleveland Indians home and road jersey, and I got the Ricky Vaughn one from the movie, the jersey, because I thought it's just a cool ass jersey. But that's gone, and that's a shame. But I give all the credit to the Atlanta Braves. When MLB was asking them, hey man, do you think that's offensive? They had Native American people saying that's not offensive. That they're honoring with the tomahawk chop. They're not doing anything bad. And you know what? Atlanta didn't bend over, and kudos to them. So if they win the World Series, I think more props to them is needed because I believe they've earned it. And all that struggling time they went through the 90s where, they were winning divisions back and forth, but they just had no playoff luck. And they've had no playoff luck lately after what happened, in seasons past. Now to see where they're at, I'm happy for them, and I hope they continue. And it would make me so happy for them to win for so many reasons. And watch the salty Dodger fans going to be like, well, at least we lost to the eventual World Series champions. That's what it was, because it was just their year. The umpires, they wanted them to win. No, did you see all the calls the Dodgers are getting? The league wanted them to win so bad because they could have marketed it so much better. And you'll see ESPN. And you'll watch FS1, whatever you choose to listen to on the radio or watch on TV or the MLB network. They're going to be disappointed the Dodgers aren't there because they wanted to talk about T.O. Albert. They would have wanted to talk about Bueller. They would have wanted to talk about Urias. They would have wanted to talk about Betts and Bellinger and all the Dodgers and praise them up and down because they're L.A. And they would have wanted to use that as ratings getter to say, hey, look at the good guy Dodgers. Even though they have a $300 million payroll. Look at the good guy Dodgers versus the bad, hated Astros. Screw the Astros. They cheated. They don't deserve to be here. But can they earn it back against the good Dodgers? Because the Dodgers are good, and they're L.A. And they'll try to hypnotize you with that crap. That's what they're going to do, well, what they would have did. But now they don't know what to do. Because they weren't favoring the Astros. Media wasn't favoring the Astros or the Braves. And the media was always going political, trying to ride with everything, voting and all that other stuff. And they were just screwing over the Braves early in the season. And again, for the Braves to have 3 different outfields and be in the World Series with a chance to win it, my God, what a great coaching job. What a great GM. I mean, just top to bottom, they deserve it. So I hope the Braves win the World Series. Although even if the Astros win, it's, again, like I said earlier, big FU to Major League Baseball. Because they're going to have to sit there and watch a team that they despise, which gave a black eye to the league, is now and could be the new champions. So I'm all for it. I can't wait. It's, some fans are going to dip on the series. I'm not really going to watch it and being invested as I was with this, obviously. But I will watch if I'm home. Because I've gone out of my way to watch these Dodger games because I want to see them lose so bad. I really want to see them lose so bad. So the fact that tonight happened, I'm so euphoric. Rally Chris says, and one Dodger fan sent me this, haha fool, we were without Muncy and JT Maxx got hurt too. We weren't healthy. Oh, cry me out. Effing River! Because the Braves were playing with a third string outfield. And they still put up numbers. So shut the F up, Dodger fans. Shut the freaking F up. Let's see. Let me get to a couple more of these comments before I get out of here. Solar says, Angels in the Outfield, best movie. Yeah, just don't watch part 2. Part 2 is garbage. Solar says, hell yeah, doubt us now. Look at the Braves. Exactly. They could turn it around so fast. The calls were bad. Nats fan says MLB on Fox page on Instagram has LA Dodgers choke post out now. Oh, you gotta send that to me. Mate says, Todd, yeah. I'm going to pop my incisions out upon laughing so hard. Be careful, please. You just had surgery, damn it, Mate. Solar says the post talking about the Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves show up and took the throne. Absolutely. Juan says it's all about the controls, the who controls the narrative. That is true. The media decides who's good and who's bad, and that's unfortunate. There is no news down the middle. And you could tell with these, I mean, if there was news down the middle, you wouldn't have Fox fighting CNN, CNN fighting Fox. They fight each other as much as they produce the news. It's terrible. Media giants will be in their meeting rooms with a dopey looks on their faces. Bellinger trying to figure out, or like Bellinger, trying to figure out what's going on. Good point. And boy, is that the dumbest look you've ever seen on a person in your life. Bellinger looks higher than crap. Like if you were to say, oh, I don't smoke weed. Yeah, you don't smoke weed. If you do, I mean, you probably take antidepressants or something. I mean, you take some sort of downers, man, because that dude looks high as you know what, dude. Like he's on another planet. Are you going to do a live after the World Series? I might just do it. And then my friend Matthew McWilliams checks in on Facebook on Messenger. He says, Braves did it. Woohoo. And you know what? I told him at the beginning of the series because I had my doubts about the Dodgers not being able to beat the Braves. I thought that the Dodgers might win. I was thinking that, okay, they're going to match up against either Boston in a rematch or Houston in a rematch. I was like, damn, you know what? I bet Okay, I told Matthew, I said, you know what, man? If the Braves win, since he's been a Braves fan forever, I said, Braves win, I'm buying you a customized Atlanta Braves jersey. And well, I guess I owe him Atlanta Braves jersey. But when it comes to this, I'm more than willing to pay for that jersey. Because, hey, man, I'm telling you, I'd rather do that in a losing effort than in a winning effort be like, you don't have to buy him the jersey. No, I'd rather buy him the jersey because, believe me, I did not want to see the Dodgers in the World Series at all. Cody was on the weed. He had to be on something stronger than that. Let's see. Solar says, I think Freddie Freeman or Ozzy Albies World Series bound. Or should be the World Series shirt. Okay, there you go. Louis says, why is Cody Bellinger face looks like he's always high? Because he probably is. That dude probably reeks of freaking weed. So with that being said, I've spoken enough tonight. I'm glad you guys and girls were able to come on here and join me. And I'm gonna play real quick. Let's play a little bit of Tomahawk and then some celebration as I get out of here. By the way, Fletchfax checks in with David Fletcher. And Joseph Trevino checks in with no, he doesn't. He's a Dodger fan. I'm giving him all the props in the world. He's been here through and throughout, and I've given him crap over the years, and, you know, it is what it is. But that's what real fans do. He says... So, but Joseph Trevino is definitely one of my favorite Dodger fans. He's cool as hell. Angels were out of it since the start of the season. See, there you go. Joseph Trevino knows what's up. So there you go. There's a for more content on Halos in the Infield. We're going to have a lot more going on. If you haven't seen them, check out our player profiles. We got that going. Chasing the Gang did a live earlier today. I was going to be on that, but again, I had to watch this game live on an 80-inch screen rather than a 20-inch screen, computer screen. So I'm sorry, but I'll be back maybe in the World Series because I know they're going to have a watch party there. So I will be there. The rest of the guys will be there. And girls, Courtney's going to be back. We're going to have podcasts. We've got interviews coming up. We got spring training. We're going to be there. We got a post game. We got a podcast softball game. So if you're interested in either going in Anaheim, because it will be in Anaheim, I believe, and we're playing another Angels podcast, and they're going to bring their own crew, their own fans to play or to watch. We want the same from you guys. So if you want to play in a softball game, January 22nd is the day of the game. So it's a couple months away. Get your swing in, hit the batting cages. You want to join the team, hit us up, message us. We'll put you on the roster. We'll get you a shirt, and you can be part of the softball game. We're going to have food, festivities. It's going to be fun. As we lead up into the season, we will have lives also to talk about player additions, signings, things like that. We're gonna have a free agent show probably. There's a lot coming for the next season, and we're really excited. And we're hoping you're gonna be there. We hope you guys spread the word because this page is taking off, and we really appreciate everyone that's been there since day one. Because next year is the first full season of this page. Remember, we joined when the team was on a downward spiral. So the fact that we've gotten all the hardcore fans in, it's time to bring the casuals in, because the casuals will come as the season starts. And that's where everything's going to pay off, because then that's word of mouth and everything's going to change. And they're going to see what we're doing over here. And they're going to see how you guys participate. And here's the other thing. Last thing I'll get into, for the post-game show. For the post-game show coming up this season, there's going to be phone calls. So you're going to be able to get in here and talk for about a minute or so. And so we're going to not only read all the comments, we're going to have freaking phone calls too. Not at the beginning of the show, but like as we get towards midway or the halfway point, start calling in, and boom, we put you on hold, and we take them one by one. We go like that. So it's going to be super interactive. We might do that on some other shows. So just stay tuned. A lot to get to as Halos in the infield continues to grow. Jerseys like this for the softball game. It's going to be fun. Let us know if you want to play. I don't care if you're a Dodger fan, if you're like Joseph. I would love to have Joseph on the team, because Joseph can play real baseball too, but he's really good at softball too. And if he wants to come over as a Dodger fan because he's a fan of the page, I take you, man. You're my brother. You play. That dude is badass playing baseball. So if he wants to come over, another friend of mine, Mike, and a few others, you guys want to come on the team, we need some heads. It's going to be great. And female, male, whatever you want to do. Like if you're a girl, you're gonna play, because Courtney's gonna be playing. So we have it's gonna be fun. Like I said, it's for the softball games, charity event. It's gonna be fun. So with that being said, I got to all the ins and outs. I hope all of you have a good rest of your evening and weekend, because I don't care what happens tomorrow in football. Dodgers are done. So I'm feeling extremely